Hi, Zakaria. I am providing you a feedback of your informative speech. So give me a second here. I'm doing great, creating a rubric. Okay, here we go. So a few things. I know that you mentioned that you had that audience, but you set it up with your friends, and I wasn't able to see your audience members. That's fine. I'm okay with it. I trust you. So no points have been deducted for this one. So you did show me your note cards. This is one thing that I have to tell you is that you got to think about this in this way. Even though you're doing this for an online audience, got to give them the same view, same flexibility, same atmosphere as you gave your audience in your first speech, right? The face-to-face audience. It should not be any different. This time I saw a view of you which was more like you were looking down towards the camera. That really kind of took away from your delivery skills. Uh, and I feel bad because there was a lot of hard work that you've put in, but the delivery skills was really compromised because of the view, because of the way you were looking at the camera, going down at the camera. And that kind of did not help me and perhaps the audience to kind of understand your a lot of places, understand your delivery skills the way I would have if you would have given me a head to toe view, or at least maybe go back a little bit more, have some movement, have a very direct view at the camera. And that would have been direct as in like a straight view at the camera where I wouldn't have to see like an upward view of you looking at the audience down. So that would have helped. Okay. So that's right at the outset. I wanted to mention this. I don't think the audio quality was, it was okay. I mean, I don't see there was anything wrong with the video quality as well. So here we go. I'm going to get right away into the delivery feedback. So remember, the first feedback was on your written speech. I will not go over the written speech anymore. This feedback is exclusively for your delivery skills. Now, eye contact, as you understand, eye contact, I would have been able to judge had you been a little distant from the camera. It seemed that you are staring down at your camera, which wasn't helpful. I am only able to gauge eye contact if you are able to, have a certain amount of distance. I'm able to see you in a certain position. I'm able to see a little bit of movement. All of that will help your eye contact. So all of the fact that you were staring down at the camera wasn't helpful. Vocal variety, yes, it was there. I did notice you had some gestures when you were explaining the pointers. Use of facial expression could have been upped. Use of descriptor, I did mention that your language use was very nicely done in your speech. So, and I made that comment with your written speech. So here we go. The pace of the speech could have been slower. This was a very technical topic and it could have been slower. The flow is effective. Now, I would say you could have made it more conversational by kind of having some rhetorical questions through the use of your visual aid. I did see that you had a few visual aids there. Those were effective. However, like when you talked, I remember your written speech. You talked about the scissor and the cutting of this, and editing as just like you cut the jeans, right? And something like scissor and cutting a piece of paper, showing how gene editing would, let's say the paper is a cell, and how would you cut it with the scissor to kind of create a more designer cell, if you will. So that would have been had a much more stronger effect on audience, as opposed to using primarily very informative visual aids. So that again, and that would have explained, because your speech was pretty intense in terms of material that the audience need to understand and process within a short amount of time. So that would have been helpful. So use of silence, I didn't see that you were using silence in key places, and effective repetition. There was a little bit of a repetition, not much. I didn't see any vocalized pauses within your speeches. Nothing that was distracting. I didn't see that. The visual aids, yes, it did increase the first one. The second one, they did, it was more of increasing comprehension. I did see whether it was engaging. Yeah, to a certain extent, I would have also thought about some more creative ways to inform an audience who has no clue about gene editing. So I would probably say that most of the visual aids were for a structural thinker, perhaps, with the with the sequencing, the number of genetic diseases that you talked about, more for a structural thinker, but not much for a social thinker, or not much for a conceptual thinker. So again, how did you may want to think about visual aids in many more ways. Okay, now in terms of time, I did not hear the speech beyond 7 minutes. So you got to be cognizant of time. It went beyond 7 minutes. I did not. I gave you about 30 seconds extra because you had to show the note card. So I was able to hear the speech actually till 7 minutes, and then after that I didn't hear it anymore. All right. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you.